Ooh, I like that all the leaves are on the trees. You can't even see this thing out here. Ooh, it's getting grown up. I have to start going back down that other path. Yeah, where I bring the four-wheeler in. Because of several reasons. One, I won't have to step on poison ivy or worry about getting it on me, because I am allergic to it. And two, I can see snakes better. Oh, well, Dottie. Bathroom break, huh? Glad you didn't do that on my trail. Also, Dottie does not, she just runs through here. I don't know if she can see snakes very well or not. And she's going to end up on a snake if I don't. She always runs ahead. Whew. It's drying up out here, but it's still got a few damp areas. Okay. I love my little cabin. Look at all this green. Lush and green. Everything's just so pretty right now. Come back, Dottie. I gotta get in and clean this mess up. This is driving me crazy. I don't know what that was. That was here yesterday or the day before. I thought it was water, but apparently it's something else. Because it didn't dry up. Okay. I have not videoed in a few days. I've done a few things, but I hadn't done a whole lot. Now I think the last thing I showed y'all, I had decided to set up my cot and stay in here, and I stayed 2 nights in here and enjoyed it. Got a little colder in the night, but I've got a few skillets hanging on the wall. I'm gonna take those down. Today I spent a lot of the morning breaking down pallets again, which I'm getting tired of. I'm losing my strength in it. Anyway, it's a sore subject. We'll just say that. But I did get some broken down, and I got a lot of this wall done. As you can see, I still have right up at the top to finish. And I have not sealed around that pipe gasket thing, boot, stove jack. I haven't done that yet. That is up under the eave, thank goodness, but I am going to come back and do that. You can see the light coming through there. But I have, like I said, this much done. I've got to get some more cardboard to put in here. Ooh, and I got to slip some down in there too. In there. I already have insulation in this. I don't know what else to say, except this has gotten slow going now. I've kind of hit a wall with, not enthusiasm, because I'm really, really wanting to get it done, but in my muscle power, I guess. I have just, I have dwindled down till I just feel like I can't, like working with those pallets, it's wearing me out. Anyway, I wish I could get my son back over here. He's really good at pulling those pallets apart for me. He's just got more power than I'm just wearing down. I'm just old and wearing down. It's not just that. I got a lot on my plate with my parents. So I just stay worn out. I think what I'm going to do is the boards I have here, finish that to the ceiling, and I'm going to do the same thing on this wall, I'm pretty sure, just so they match. And on this back wall, I'm going to do something different. Now, I worked on the roof this morning. That's right. I was thinking there was something else I did. I went back up and pulled this side here. That seam right there is the one that's been leaking so much, because this is where all the water was running down here, and I had buckets catching it. I mean, a lot of it, too. So what I did is I went back up and pulled and undid the screws, pulled the panels apart, lifted that outside panel up, and I just coated it heavily with Flex Seal, and then put the panel back down and put the screws back in and covered the screw heads. When I did that, it made me mad because this stuff dripped in. Some got on the floor, and I just didn't know it was that runny and was running in, and some on my sleeping bag and Dottie's little bed. made me mad. It just made a mess, and I can't do anything about it. It won't clean off. Lesson learned, this stuff is runny, and it just goes. But I'm hoping that will fix this leak. Whenever I get this wall done, I think I'm going to come back because I'm going to be sitting over on this side and staring at this wall where these boards meet. I'm anal about things matching and meeting, and there's nothing I could do because I'm using all these various widths of boards, and they don't match up. Plus, this tends to be dipping in, and this is down, and it bothers me. So, what I'm planning on doing is just getting getting a piece of wood and putting over that to kind of trim it. I probably won't do, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, I'll just put that on there. That should, I think that'll be fine. I may not use one that wide, but I might. I'll just cover it over, and I don't have to pay attention to it. This wall here is where I'm going to have my kitchen anyway. So I'm going to end up having a platform here. And then I will probably put some shelves up here on this one. Goodness. Well, the 2 days that I did stay in, I really enjoyed it. I cooked on the stove, my breakfast and my supper. And enjoyed it. Dottie stayed with me one night, and she was totally fine. I had her in her little down sleeping bag. She stayed warm. And I tell you, the thing I've got to work on is the smoke. When I open that door, smoke billows out of it. Now, it's not a big deal when I've got the door open over here, because it'll go out. But when I'm at night and I start up another fire, it just stays in here. It just about chokes me. So I'm going to end up installing some kind of battery-powered fan up there at the top that I can flip a switch, turn it on, suck the smoke out, and flip it back off. I have backtracked on the idea of using cardboard in here. The more I think about it, the more I think it's probably not good. I mean, it probably does insulate well, but I'm thinking if any moisture gets to it, or if it absorbs just moisture that's in the air, it's going to eventually break down and maybe even mold, and that'll be in the walls. So I'm going to change that up. Now, I've got some cardboard I've got to get. It's behind this here and here. You see some of it sticking. This one I can pull that out without removing the boards. And but I'll have to pull a couple of boards off to pull that back out, and that's not a problem. I just got them tacked in there with finishing nails. So I'm going to change that up. So that means I've got to come up with something else to insulate. I know where a roll of insulation is. It's under my parents' house is where it is. I saw it under there back when I was working on their plumbing. I've got to get it out, which is going to be a big ordeal because everything's blocked. You have to crawl under or over the ductwork, and I don't see how those fit through there. So I'm going to have to, if I can't find a way to get it out in one piece, I'm going to have to cut it open and pull each one of these strips out one by one and drag it around and bring it back out of the house. So that's going to be an ordeal. That stops me from like working on the walls because I need the insulation in here before I do it. I'm just kind of at a loss now of what to do. The thing I could do is start working on whatever I'm going to put here. I know I'm going to be putting, this is makeshift boards, but I'm going to have something here. Then I'm also going to have something probably starting here, going over that way as a work surface, like a kitchen, I guess. Oh, what to do. When I figure it out, I'll let you know. All right, I got the work surface done. It's pretty basic, I guess would be the word for it. Kind of, I love that I had this piece of wood that had this live edge on it. I love that. I'm not crazy about the legs that I've used on it. They're kind of janky, but That's what I had. Those pieces came off of a strange pallet. I already had these little ladder pieces on it. So I just thought, well, I'll just use it like that. Okay, now I need a shelf underneath it somewhere. I gotta figure that out. Then I need something on the wall up here, I think. I'm not sure yet. I think that's gonna be good. I need to coat this. I really need to sand it, but I'd have to drag a to use the electric sander. I'd have to drag the generator down here, and I'm not doing that. I might later though. Just whenever I get down to a point where I need to sand a bunch of things, or when I bring the generator down here for something else, I can bring that too, maybe. All right, well, that's one thing done for today. Now, I don't know what else I'm gonna do. Let me think about it. I am done for the day. I have, as you see, I built the kitchen area. I got another shelf under here. And the point of this right here, in case any of you are wondering, this right here is when I am sitting here cooking and I need to take a skillet off, I just need some place to sit it. I had this here, but it was not a whole lot of room, so I just made this. And I may come back and put some, like a sheet of metal there. Just to keep the hot pans from burning it, charring it. That's the point of that. And this, I kind of wanted a little more of a shelf, but the piece of wood I found to fit in here, it would only extend this far. But this was fine. I can actually get a small skillet, or even my little container I boil water in. I can put that up here too. So I just left this there. I've got to come back and do some sanding on it. Anyway, that's what I got done. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but you know, it's something. Left, I found this piece is, this is a piece of cypress, I believe, that my brother-in-law sent to the house. He didn't need it, and I threw it in the shed for a while. It turned out pretty well. Had a little problem with this thing, is not milled perfectly. The thickness of it's a little strange. Thicker on this end than it is that end, but I just got it a wedge in here to make it more smooth. I do need to sand that top and then seal it with probably a polyurethane, just to keep water from soaking in it as I'm working it there. But I got my little bins of stuff on that shelf. I wouldn't mind even another shelf down there, and I may do that later, but for now, this is fine. My cot is still in here. I took all of the woodworking stuff out just to set it up and just kind of see how it felt. And I like it. Got my little toilet behind the door. Whoops. My toilet, and then I made this birdhouse years ago, and I just could never bring myself to put it up in the outside because it was so darn cute. I didn't want to mess it up. So I pulled it out, and I'm going to use it as my toilet paper dispenser. That's it for today. Thank y'all for following along, and we'll see you later.